Thank you. Boston Fed President Eric Rosengren announcing individually here that he will sell all the individual stocks he owns by September 30th and reinvest the proceeds into diversified index funds or cash savings.
Hey guys, Mike here. So that's right. This guy announced he's going to sell all his stocks, or individual stocks that is, and go into cash and diversified ETFs along with another Fed president. I assume you will start to see other Fed presidents announcing this very soon. And, we're going to go into why, because it sounds very suspicious, right on its face, right? And so we're going to go into all that today, and I'm going to go on my rant because this is the kind of story that just pisses me off. You know it does if you watch this channel long enough, and you should be pissed off right along with me because, this was the reason. This is one of the main reasons you see Wall Street bets being created, the Reddit groups, normal individuals getting together and trying to, basically give it to the big man or, give it to Wall Street and all that stuff and try to level the playing field in a way, right? And this is why, because it's these kind of stories that show you how unlevel this playing field is, and we're just like kids in the back seat, almost powerless, to be honest with you. We can keep voting people out all we want, but, we don't demand that they change the rules and actually hold themselves accountable like they hold us, okay? Because when we get into this story, understand, if we did this, our lawyers would be telling us to take plea deals because we would be going to jail for a very long time. If we didn't, better to go to jail for a short time than a long time, right? And you'll see that right here. So let's get into, the rest of this interview, exactly why this guy is actually doing this.
He says he will not trade in accounts in those accounts while serving as Fed president of Boston. He says the investment decisions he made last year were permissible under the Fed ethics rules, but he's addressing this issue to avoid any appearance of conflict. Obviously, this story comes after disclosures that Robert Kaplan, the Dallas Fed president, was involved in multiple trades in excess of $1 million over the course of 2020. And Boston Fed President Eric Rosengren also involved in a series of trades involving a whole manner of stocks, Dow, Alibaba, it looks like, AT&T. He owned a bunch of residential mortgage companies and other mortgage companies, Verizon. Most of his trades, however, are much smaller than Robert Kaplan's, all listed between $1,000 and $50,000. But there were at least, I'm looking at the form now, 50 purchases and sales of stocks during the year.
And so basically what you have here is Kaplan's the one. He was an executive with Goldman Sachs before he became a president with the Fed. And so he has a lot of knowledge and a whole boatload of money. But yeah, he made by himself 50 different trades, I believe it was, 32 individual stocks last year, a lot of tech. But imagine, here's what you got to do here. Imagine, okay, just try to picture this, that you, as a Fed chairman, are sitting in a meeting, the market is collapsing. I mean, the whole world is shutting down. Things are going really bad.
Let us recap how this incredible day played out. The Dow just had its biggest point drop in history, falling 1,190 points. That was a 4.4% drop. The Dow index has now lost 3,200 points this week alone. It is now down nearly 10% this year. The S&P, meantime, falling 4.4% as well, handing in its worst day since August of 2011. And this is the fastest correction, a 10% drop from the highs, in the entire history of the stock market.
And you're sitting in this meeting with all the other presidents, and you're coming up with ideas and things you're going to do, and y'all decide to say, you know what, we're going to do something we've never done in the history of this country. We're going to purchase all the corporate debt. We're going to scoop it up. We're going to buy everything that moves. We're going to flood the market with liquidity. We're going to double the Fed balance sheet, which we've never done in a matter of months, okay? We're going to advise Congress to put in moratoriums on evictions, and we're going to roll the interest rate down to zero, which is going to allow people to refinance their mortgages, help keep them in their houses, as well as pull out equity they have in the house to use to pay bills if they lose their job, okay? And so, not only do you know what's happening, you're the one making it happen before it ever gets to the public, right? So you know what's fixing to happen. You get to say, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what we're going to advise Congress to do, right? So they know stimulus checks are going to be running out right and left. It's already planned out before it ever happens. They know interest rates are going to zero. They know eviction moratoriums are going into place. They know they're going to be purchasing corporate debt, which they've never done in the history of the country. They know they're going to sit there and scoop up everything, run around the wheelbarrow, anything, just load it up. We'll buy it. We'll buy it. We'll buy it. They're going to be buying $80 billion of bonds, $40 billion every month of mortgage-backed securities, right? Help prop the real estate market up and everything else. And then you get to go home after these meetings, and you're sitting in front of your computer right here, right? And you pull up your trading account. Really, think about the investment decisions you can make with that knowledge. Think about that. Then you make the investments, and then you keep going back to these meetings and proposing stuff. Well, here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to do. So think about the investment decisions. We're going to put mortgage rates down. We're going to put interest rates down to 0. Who's that help? Growth stocks. Microsoft, Amazon, all these companies, right? I'll buy a whole bunch of those, which they did. Then we know the real estate market is going to be propped up because we're going to be purchasing $40 billion a month on mortgage-backed securities. Moratoriums going in place where you can't evict or foreclose on anybody into the foreseeable future. So what am I going to do? I'm going to start buying ETFs and stocks that have to do with real estate. Oh, what's going to happen there? Think about that kind of knowledge. Stimulus checks are going to be rolling out, even though the grocery stores are pretty much shut. Everything's shut down. So what I want to buy into, probably going to be something like an Amazon, even though we know Walmart stayed open. So maybe I'll buy Walmart, all these different things. And then you know exactly what companies to avoid as well. All right. Isn't that a powerful knowledge? Again, not only do you have the knowledge, you're creating the knowledge before it ever gets out. Does that need to be regulated? If an individual, say a maid or something, or a cleaning person, just happened to be walking by cleaning something, and just the door was cracked, and they heard all this information come out of the Fed of what they were going to do, all their plans and everything else, and then they acted on it, what would happen to that regular individual citizen? They would go to jail. That's what would happen. They would go to jail. Okay? But these guys and Congress, they do this all the time. All the time. It's not just one party. It is both parties on both sides. You can look at Mitch McConnell's trades. You can look at Nancy Pelosi. All the same. The other reason they do this is because none of them prosecute each other, right? They do these dog and pony shows up there in Washington, these trials and stuff, and nobody ever gets charged with anything. Okay, we just had 4 politicians last year caught red-handed. 0 denial from any of them. None of them have been charged with anything. One of them, thank God, actually got voted out because this was put as part of the campaign. I was like, thank God, maybe people got upset about this. It's ridiculous. And her defense was, I'm so rich that the $1.5 million in stock is it's peanuts to me. Like, it doesn't even matter, right? That was the defense. Didn't even deny it. No problem. No kind of charges, no prosecution, nothing, okay? And I want you to understand, here's the definition of insider trading. Insider trading involves trading in a public company's stock by someone who has non-public material information about that stock for any reason. Insider trading is illegal when the material information is still non-public, and this sort of insider trading comes with harsh consequences. Yeah, right. And wouldn't you think also that if you're in a position as like a Fed president, a senator, representative, president of the United States, Treasury Secretary, that there will be some rules in place saying you have to divest your investments, okay, to at least have somebody else manage them for you, right? And you can't be in individual stocks. You can be in ETFs, bonds, whatever, but you can't be investing in Microsoft, Amazon, all the rest of these, because if anything, yes, it is a conflict of interest because you have this knowledge. You make the knowledge. You're the ones making the decision. There's a reason why companies have those programs of 10B5-1, I believe I got that correct, whereas their stocks for executives are planned sales to avoid getting charged with insider trading, to avoid conflicts of interest, right? And so that's the reason why they have those in place in almost all companies, honestly, but especially the big ones, right, to avoid that. Yet here, they don't have that at all. So you would think, and they're way more powerful than CEOs and executives because, these guys are the ones uplifting the stock market. The Fed has been credited with 50% of the returns in the stock market over the last year because of what they've done. So they have the most knowledge. They have more knowledge than Congress, for God's sakes, because they're the ones advising Congress on what to do, all right? And so, to sit there and have none of this in place to allow these guys and gals to sit there and just trade at will. $1 million, multiple $1 million trades this one guy was putting in, right? I mean, you know, and plus with his Goldman Sachs background, my God, the amount of money, he was already rich to begin with. I can't imagine how wealthy he is now. You know, because, I mean, he was buying Microsoft way back, Amazon, right during the crash. So it's like, my Lord, you know, this is just, it's you want to say it's unbelievable, but because this is the U.S. here and we know how corrupt our government is and stuff like that, it's like, no, I can't. And yeah, I'm going to use the word corruption because that's what it is. I'm sorry. I mean, there's no doubt if that was me or you know as well as I do, we would be going to jail. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We would go to jail. Okay, there's many citizens sitting in jail right now for insider trading because they're regular people. All right. And when's the last time you heard of a politician going to jail for insider trading, a Fed president, any of them? And mark my words, you're going to see more than 2 come out. They're going to have to. I mean, now people are really going to start digging. This just came out Friday. Okay. And so, you know, it's beyond ridiculous. It's infuriating to sit there and see this continue to happen over and over. And they wonder why the public is so pissed off at them. And it's even more insulting when the SEC says they're going to try to crack down on Wall Street Bets or Reddit, investigate them. And then you see this mess going on right here. This is what you see going on, right? And they're not even denying anything that they say, hey, it was legal, which most likely it was. Most likely it's legal because of the rules and policies that our politicians put in place, which makes it 10 times, 100 times worse. And then they're going to sell everything now at the stock market high. Oh, I mean, that right there is just punishment, isn't it? They're going to sell at all-time highs and go into cash and diversified ETFs now when you're we're going into the worst month of the stock market in history, right? I mean, historically, September is the worst. And I challenge you now, go back over the last 10 years, the S&P, look at sell-offs that are 5% or more, and you will see that over 20%, like 23% or something of them, actually start in October over the last 10 years. Forget, I mean, who cares about the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s? Who cares about that? That makes no sense. Like, I don't understand the point even going back before pre-2000, to be honest with you, because you had no internet, you had hardly any retail investors in this mess. And so, you know, to sit there and go back, way back and go historically, so, you know, no, because actually if you look at the last 10 years, September actually hadn't been the worst month out of the year. You know, but pre-2010, right? Yeah, September was. And so, yeah, this is going to be a rough month. Probably October is probably going to be a rough month too. But for them to sell it now and then just get away and go, oh, we're sacrificed. We're going to go ahead and sell now. You know, by September 3rd, we'll be out. Oh, whoa. Well, thank you for that sacrifice. To sit there and run it up to all times, and now you want to get out? I mean, more punishment would be to make them stay in and hold on to the investments they have right now, at least through October, see what happens, right? But I mean, even if there is a sell-off or correction coming up or something, they're getting out before, right? They're actually getting out before, so they not only they made the money, they're getting out before there's even a hint of a correction or sell-off, right? I mean, come on. It's just like rubbing salt in somebody's wound, right? It's like, wow, these guys are going to get away with this and get to keep everything because they're going to go ahead and say, we're out. We're out. See you later. You know, it's like, wow. You know, and just wait. There's a bunch of different Fed presidents. Coming up this week, you're going to see one after the other. There'll be announcements saying, yeah, because we don't want to ruin the reputation of the Fed. I think the reputation has been ruined of the Fed. Let's be real about that, okay? It is ridiculous that you people can sit up here and make policy and everything to benefit you. But if we did that, we would go to jail, all right? So either get rid of insider trading altogether and let everybody do it, or you guys got to start following the rules like everybody else, all right? It is absolutely ridiculous. You have to divest yourself of all your holdings. You have to sit there and you can go in diversified ETFs, bonds, that kind of stuff, and then somebody else has to manage it for you, not you. And the reason why you want to at least put somebody else in charge of it, because that person is going to be a licensed individual who may actually uphold the law. They may be a firewall that when they call them up and say, yeah, go ahead and sell all my Amazon now, and the person goes, what do you mean sell your Amazon? Why? And then, of course, they don't want to tell them, right? I mean, maybe they're stupid enough to tell them, oh, because I just got this, we're gonna roll out this policy, right? And so it's no different. Imagine if you were in the Chinese government right now and you knew what you were gonna be rolling out on your tech companies about 6 months ago. Would you have sold Alibaba? Of course you would have. You would have sold like crazy, right? In the 300s, right? Because you knew what was happening or was going to be rolling out. There's no different than that. And so, yeah, I mean, anyway, I'm ranting enough, but You know, if you got something out of it, hit the like, subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that, you know, gives a crap about this kind of stuff. But it just drives me freaking insane because it is hard enough to make money in the stock market as a regular person. Then you got these guys that are doing this again. I mean, how many more people got to get caught doing it before something actually will change, right? Anyway, hope you guys have a good day. I'm going to be watching some football today and enjoying that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And of course, don't forget to hit that link down the bottom and open you up a BlockFi account where you can buy your Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as earn interest up to 4.5% on your cryptocurrencies, 7.5% on your stable coins, and open up that cool new Bitcoin credit card they have there where you can earn Bitcoin on every purchase, as well as take out loans on your current cryptocurrencies that you own with BlockFi.